What's good, YouTube? It's your boy D-Rip. Hey, today we got another special video. Today we're going to be reacting to 10 minutes of WWE wrestlers stealing people's finishers, using other people's finishers, using their opponent's finishers, just people using other people's finishers that don't belong to them. But anyway, first on Crush, try to make sure I gotta hit that thumbs up. Make sure I continue to subscribe. I appreciate all of y'all because y'all have been helping your boy grow. And we already know that we're coming up on 4K here real soon. So continue to subscribe because I would really appreciate if we could hit 4K like as soon as possible. And then we continue to grow up. Then once we hit, we'll do something once we get 10K. We'll do something. But look, I appreciate y'all, man. If I got any other videos y'all want me to react to in particular, let me know down below in the comments. Without further ado, let's get into this video.
My God, Alexa's got Lacey right here in front of us again.
Sister Abigail.
And Sister Abigail to Lacey.
What happened to Alexa?
Stealing another wrestler's finisher can either be disrespectful or a heartfelt tribute.
Rollins, and there's Edge. Look at this, glam slam by Edge.
Either way, it's always cool seeing an iconic finisher used by someone else, which happened early in 2021.
Okay.
The year started off strong with the return of Goldberg.
Okay.
The master of the jackhammer immediately went after the WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. The two exchanged heated words and ultimately agreed to fight each other at the Royal Rumble. Before the match even started, Drew McIntyre took a page out of his opponent's playbook and hit Goldberg with a spear. Don't worry, Goldberg made up for it by hitting McIntyre with several spears of his own. Despite that, it wasn't enough to keep Drew down, and the Scottish Warrior beat Goldberg and retained the WWE Championship. Shortly after,
I thought McIntyre was gonna do it. I thought Goldberg was gonna do a Claymore on him or something.
After WrestleMania 37, Matt Riddle suggested he and Randy Orton form a tag team. Orton was skeptical at first, but eventually warmed up to the idea. Now that he had a new tag team partner, Matt Riddle decided to pay tribute to the Apex Predator. Riddle was wrestling a match against Xavier Woods, but was having some trouble putting Woods away. After Xavier escaped from the Bro Derek, Matt Riddle suddenly struck.
Hey!
It did the job, and Matt Riddle had his hand raised. Matt Riddle loved performing the RKO so much, he used the move several times during the Money in the Bank ladder match. He even pounded the mat, just like Randy Orton would. The week after Matt Riddle wrestled Xavier Woods, it was Randy Orton's turn to take on the New Day member. Even though Randy Orton is a legend, Xavier Woods still proved to be a challenge for the Viper. Since it worked well for his tag team partner, Orton decided to borrow Matt Riddle's finisher. The Apex Predator Xavier Woods with a Bro Derek, which allowed Randy Orton to put his opponent away once and for all. After defeating John Morrison, Damian Priest would help reveal that The Miz had been faking his leg injury. This set up a match between Priest and the A-lister the next week. Before the match started, Sheamus, Damian Priest's SummerSlam opponent, came out to watch. Priest wasn't fazed by the Celtic Warrior's appearance and decided to send a message. To end the match, Damian Priest stole Sheamus' finisher, kick, Celtic Warrior, by beating his chest. Their match at SummerSlam was phenomenal, but everyone knew this wasn't the end of Edge and Seth Rollins' rivalry. Several weeks after their first match, the Radar Superstar and the Monday Night Messiah fought again inside.
I didn't like the Monday Night Messiah thing. How do y'all feel about it? I didn't like it. I didn't like the song. I didn't like any of it.
Madison Square Garden. As they say, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. And during the match, that's exactly what Edge did. After pulling Rollins off the rope, the Radar Superstar planted Seth with the pedigree. Luckily,
What?
He was able to kick out and eventually won the match, but this rivalry still wasn't over. Edge and Seth had a third and final match inside Hell in a Cell. Their rivalry had been pretty heated and personal, and it only got worse during this fight. Rather than steal one of Edge's own moves, Rollins decided to steal one from Edge's best friend, Christian.
Christian? Kill switch?
Twisted Edge's body around and hit the kill switch, laughing as he did it. Rollins should have soaked it in while he was on top, because Edge was going to get some sweet revenge. After a long and grueling battle, the Radar Superstar had enough. He placed his opponent on a steel chair and ended the match by defeating Rollins' own finisher, the Curb Stomp. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins' Hell in a Cell match was absolutely brutal. Both men threw everything they had at each other, and even some stuff that wasn't theirs. Seth tried to hit the pedigree, but Cody reversed it and hit a pedigree of his own. Rollins made sure to get back at him later in the match. When Rhodes went for his finisher, Crossroads, Seth countered and used Cody's own move against him.
He did it twice, I think.
As cool as what Edge did at Clash at the Castle. At the event, Edge and
he did a 619.
to fight
I remember.
Day, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. The match had a lot of insane and awesome action, but the craziest part was near the end. Edge dropped Finn on the middle rope, setting Balor up perfectly for a 619 from the Rated R Superstar. That was amazing to see, but unfortunately, it only got a 2 count. This isn't the only finisher Edge stole in 2022, as you'll soon see. If we're talking about stolen finishers, we need to bring up Logan Paul. The man is the master of borrowing WWE finishers. When the social media star was introduced as the Miz's tag team partner, Paul got into a fight with Rey and Dominic Mysterio. This led to Paul taking out Dom with the Miz's finisher, the Skull Crushing Finale. Ironically, about 5 months later, Logan would use the same move against the A-lister. At SummerSlam, the Miz and Paul fought each other one-on-one. Both men pulled all the stops, which was made clear when Logan Paul got...
But the Miz helps a lot of new people, like, get over. Like, have y'all noticed that? I know it's not just me. I'm not the only person I noticed that.
On the top rope and hit The Miz with a phenomenal forearm. That was pretty cool, but what was downright humiliating was what Logan Paul did at the end. After almost accidentally knocking out his wife, The Miz was caught by his former tag team partner and given a skull-crushing finale. Logan Paul beat The Miz using the A-lister's own finisher. Also,
I remember he did it, but I didn't remember he beat him like that.
He not only used
Three
Eddie Guerrero's
Amigos.
Three Amigos, but also used Latino Heat's Frog Splash. Back to The Miz. Before he teamed up with Logan Paul, the most must-see WWE superstar teamed up with his wife, Maurice, to take on Edge and Beth Phoenix. The two couples fought each other at the Royal Rumble, where some finisher stealing occurred. In the climax of the match, Beth Phoenix borrowed her husband's finisher by spearing Maurice. Edge then hit The Miz with the Glam Slam, which shut down the Moneymaker and got them the win. As soon as Matt Riddle started teaming with Randy Orton, the original bro started hitting the RKO whenever he could. Riddle continued to do so in 2022.
Bro, y'all just talked about Riddle.
Spectacular moments, stealing the RKO. During the match, Riddle caused his opponent in the triangle choke. Seth got out of it by stealing one of Matt Riddle's moves, the Bro Derek. Luckily for the original Bro, he was able to kick out, but he still ended up losing the match. Later that same night, we saw some
Casa de
more
Casa was so
thievery.
good.
Drew McIntyre faced Roman Reigns in one of the Scottish Warriors' biggest matches of his career. Drew had to use everything he had to win, but so did Roman Reigns. The Tribal Chief
Drew should have won that night,
finisher when he planted McIntyre with the rock bottom. Unfortunately, Roman didn't hit the people's elbow. A little later, Reigns had the table
Spine buster.
as the two beasts were slugging it out. Drew McIntyre dodged a Superman punch and then countered with a spear. It was impressive, but it didn't get the win, and the Scottish Warrior crumbled to the head of the table. At Backlash, Edge and Randy Orton.
Oh my gosh, bro. I wish fans was at this, man. This would have been even better if it was fans. There was no fans at the time. And it was a straight match, but it would have been way better if there was fans, bro. Because when Edge first returned in this year at that Royal Rumble, that's when fans was there. And then this virus mess started happening, and then all the fans was gone. So they had to go the rest of the year with no fans, and I'm sure they had already had this plan. But it messed up because of freaking virus mess.
Faced off in the, quote, greatest wrestling match ever, but fitting with that label, the match did feature several of the greatest finishing moves. Randy Orton was the first to borrow someone else's finisher when he hit Edge with the angle slam.
Hey!
Big slam by Orton. Oh, wow.
I don't know about you, but I thought that fit really well. Kurt Angle is one of the greatest wrestlers ever, so seeing his finisher in the match was a nice reference.
It didn't look bad
Later,
with
Edge
Randy
decided
doing
to
that.
be
Hold
sane
on.
and borrowed a move from one of his best friends.
Oh, thought about the power slam. Thought about the power slam.
Kill switch!
Prettier. Unprettier. He got it.
After getting hit by the kill switch, Randy Orton responded by using a finisher from his former mentor's moveset.
The smug look on Randy Orton's face. His mentor, Triple H's
Pedigree.
A pedigree.
Edge refused to stay down and bounced right back by nailing the Apex Predator with a
Rock bottom! Oh my gosh.
Despite all the stolen finishers, it was ultimately Randy Orton's own punt kick that won the match. Way back at the start of 2020, Randy Orton was originally going to face AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
So I will wait till WrestleMania and not only make you tap out, but retire you.
Ooh.
On the January 6th episode of Raw, AJ Styles took on a
AJ Styles older than Randy though.
During the match, AJ wanted to send a message to the Viper and decided to use Orton's signature DDT. To make it loud and clear, the Phenomenal One then ended the match with an RKO.
With the Viper and AJ Styles with an RKO.
The next week,
The
both men were
disrespect,
able
bro.
to get their hands on each other in a triple threat match,
Disrespectful.
also involving Drew McIntyre. To throw salt into the wound, AJ decided to hit Randy Orton with a rope hang DDT. Just like the week before, Styles is going to follow up with an RKO, but Orton countered and decided to use AJ's own finisher against him.
Styles Clash?
Kidding me? No way! Orton! Styles Clash!
Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get the pinfall, and McIntyre was ultimately the one who had his arm raised.
Oh my god.
Both Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins threw a lot at each other when they faced off in their infamous eye for an eye match. After hitting the Monday Night Messiah with just about everything he had, Mysterio decided to borrow a move from Seth's playbook.
Trying to cover his damaged eye, and
Hey!
stop! Trying to cover his damaged eye, and when they stop!
Unfortunately, the curb stomp wasn't enough, and Rey ended up losing the match. At Survivor Series, the Raw and
What in the
SmackDown
world?
Tag Team Champions,
Oh,
the New
Gears of
Day and
War?
the Street Profits respectively, squared off to see which brand had the better tag team. The two sides had been fighting for well over 10 minutes, with neither one able to get the win, so Montez Ford decided to try a different tactic.
Kofi went for trouble in paradise. Ford able to dunk it. God, was that trouble in paradise?
Hitting the Trouble in Paradise seemed to do the trick, as the Street Profits were ultimately able to pick up the win.
I like how a lot of this stuff
Just
is
one day
when there were
after
no
returning
fans.
at the Royal Rumble, Edge was viciously attacked by Randy Orton. This put him back on the shelf, but after the Viper attacked Edge's wife, Beth Phoenix, the Rated R superstar was forced to come back. Orton tried to sneak attack his former tag team partner, but Edge wasn't having it.
Through the concerto. Oh, wait a minute, an RKO!
After hitting Randy Orton with his own finisher, MVP got involved, which proved to be a big mistake.
Oh, the
Another one?
RKO onto the chair.
That's it? Dang. Well,
On November
oh. If you got any other videos you want me to react to in particular, let me know down below in the comments. But hey, without further ado though, like this video, subscribe if you're new. It's your boy D-Rib, man. I'm out.